play it. You can even just go position 4 Tiny and look to, or just put it as a support and look to go for some other heroes. So the opener from Navi is very, very flexible.
If you see an IO, don't go single target, go for full-on team fight because you're not able to deal with it. Q was saying during that LGD Spirit series, it feels like they just can't contribute anything if you go further down that route. So Team Secret, it's a strong lane for sure, the Undying, but you contribute to the team fight very heavily too with the vision from the Tombstone, but the effects of the Tombstone, of course, forcing enemies to kind of clump into a small area, and that's exactly what a Primal Beast wants.
And it gives you a pretty good lane matchup with a double melee IO Tiny. If it is going to be in a side lane or wherever the IO is, at least you will be into one strength hero. So very, very happy there for the Undying to be able to play into.
To me, it feels like they want a Leshrac again on Navi. They've banned out the Bloodseeker, they've got an IO to be able to pair together with it. It seems like the most common pairing to me.
Yeah, and that's what that's why I said Leshrac in the first phase, because I kind of expected them to pick it up. And now with the Bloodseeker ban, like you said, is there anything else that you, and maybe if they're going to kind of pick the Lesh in the next phase, what they need to ban now?
What Secret need to ban? Or what Navi need to ban, sorry?
Like Navi need to ban. If they want to go down this Leshrac route, because you said the Bloodseeker is a hero that does fare very well versed in with the Rock Shot. Do you want to continue maybe setting up for the Lesh, or would you be kind of showing your cards and Secret could just ban it out?
People are going to call me too Wyvern focused, but ban the Wyvern against an IO, very important. It means that you're able to just disrupt any kind of BKB run-in timings as well that the Leshrac might want to have. Sure, you might not kill the IO, but you just waste that timing, and then suddenly Primal Beast, who relies very heavily on magical damage, is actually able to do something in team fights. We're making a lot of assumptions here that it is a Lesh, but I think it is something that you need to be looking at consider.
Wow! Just banned out, so Secret on the page where get rid of the Lesh. Wait to see what Navi are looking to go for as well.
I haven't seen as much Mirana as I was expecting. Not to say that Navi are going to do it this game, but I really feel like a lot of players have been spamming out in their pubs, and we just haven't barely seen a single time where it's been picked up. The Undying Tombstone would be nice, but not for how the heroes, that they've picked so far.
It definitely does feel like Navi going to need some person to lane into the Undying, so you could even consider like a Snapfire as well, because it provides you a little bit of team fight. Some AoE damage is always nice, because the IO
It'd be 3 strength heroes though, and a Primal just runs onto you, so I'm not as big of a fan of the Snapfire this game. What else could you look to do? You just gotta disrupt Primal Beast somehow. Early on, it's good enough to have some stuns, but I need some E-piercing stuff. That's why I'm a little bit more keen on these things, like, Bloodseeker kind of does Primal Beast a bit of a favor with that one being banned out. It's clear that they wanted the Leshrac. Now what do they reposition into? What else is there that's gonna go through that? Beastmaster feels kind of okay. But it's more single target, and it doesn't really feel like an IO unless it's a position 1 Tiny, which we haven't seen in a long time, is going to provide that benefit. Are they just doing this? Are they going like all in onto just making this Tiny enormous?
Yeah, if it's a Tiny or whatever carry it's going to be, they're looking to just make him have as much damage as possible and buff him up. So this is where Secret now need to consider about going for like the anti-carries. Razor is always one of them. Brewmaster's another one, but I don't think Brew in general is not very good at the moment, and also you're probably going to reveal that the Primal Beast is not a 3, so...
I'm considering Terrorblade here. I think they might be setting up to Luna as well, which I think would be pretty significant, and if you could just discourage that, then it goes a long way towards, winning the game, slowing down the timings a little bit. And again, if you're just made huge, Centipede's not bad either. You can use the Requiem as a lot of that repositioning as well. A solid team fight too, not all into the one area. If your timing is on point, which again has been playing fantastically all throughout these qualifiers, then you can interrupt the relocate too. Or team fight, like it. He's seen as a bit slow though, and not able to deal with push incredibly well.
seconds remaining.
Is there anything stopping them from even going a drow again? Because you can probably level like a early running gust, right?
Yeah. I don't think Drow's that hero that you want with an ogre now, right? Like, of course it's going to be strong, but I don't think it's quite at that. You want something that's, I don't know, a bit more of a menace early on. Thinking like, they've got a lot of heroes that are going to build up to be very tanky, but I don't think you can get away with a Phoenix on top of everything that you've already got. Or Navi. Again, it would just allow this one unit to be incredibly strong, and they would have no one to essentially hit the supernova. But going a little bit too far down that one strategy.
It feels like Navi do need some hero to be able to help out with their team fighting. I mean, you could just go down the route where you completely avoid it on Iron and just look to ball off. Like I said, putting a lot into the carry. Hey, the Mirana, like you mentioned. So, what's going on here? Yeah, well, we're going to get a core Mirana, which is something that is, you know, a little bit before TI. Crazy, but yeah.
People have been playing Mirana across basically every role except 5s, and we've even seen a couple of 5s when it's been into like a Beastmaster or units like that. I was honestly thinking that Navi might be considering the Nature's Prophet, just for a little bit more of that fast-paced, global, decent in the laning stage. They don't have great ways to deal with the transporting. Sure, the Aghanim's shard isn't as strong as it used to be, but I still feel like it would have been pretty decent, even just from ganking the Shadow King.
Navi's turn to bat.
What's the potential here for, because we're looking for the Chrysalis here of the loss, and you need, again, definitely Shadow Fiend comes under the border, that Wink edition, so you don't particularly want that for Chrysalis. Monkey King's already gone. There, if they want comfort, is there anything else you could consider here for Chrysalis?
10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining.
Not enough team fight now, so you can look to avoid that. I kind of want to see the Night Stalker, man. I really feel like it's going to provide them a lot. You're going to be able to get on top of the Mirana, make her a lot swifter, find the IO, which is exactly what the Primal Beast needs to be a lot more effective in these fights. Considering a Pudge as well, like with this Slardar ban and with the Sniper just able to peep him down from afar. I mean, with the Huskar being banned by Navi, I'm considering, is this Ogre being played as a position? Just something that needs to be able to use his strong right click to be able to lane effect.
I think also just a little bit
10 seconds remaining.
about the Ogre being a core.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, definitely would be interesting. I mean, a point target stun for the Mirana position 4, if that was going to be the case.
Turn to pick.
Admiral Conker!
Around Secret, they go down the Conker. So we did see earlier today it was Polaris that actually picked up the Conker and the Shadow Fiend in combination together. Of course, that was it did look strong. It was a carry Conker, so a safe lane Conker. So we don't know at the moment. It can be swapped around here for Secret.
Specifically to respond to the Enigma, I think.
5 seconds remaining.
There's no real big reason for this other than just, again, anchoring team fights around a small area. Allow Shadow Fiend to just stand and fight. Allow them, they get caught in a bad area, to be forced to fight next to a tombstone. And right now, the only hero that's hitting a tombstone is Mirana. So, Secret Draft isn't bad. I'm still trying to figure out what Navi's trying to do with this one.
Hopefully the 24th pick is able to pull it all together. They've got a lot of flex, but a little bit of Ember Spirit for Navi. So is the Tiny going to be a 1? It's a carry IO.
Alright.
Interesting. Was not expecting that,
Carry IO with TI, I'll believe it. You know, it's happened before. To accomplish it again, it's also going to be an off-lane Mirana, by the way.
Also a new hero for V-Tune.
Also a new hero for V-Tune. He's doubled up once. I'm very disappointed. Twice. Played the drought previously as well.
Alright, well, let's go. We got some new things here. Run off, and like you said, carry Io. Secret, they're going to be running the safe lane Shadow Fiend, and Nisha's going to be picking up the Conquer, so I'm going to enjoy the ride on this one. I was having a bit of a difficult time with how the draft was setting up with the craziness coming out from Na'Vi, and I'm ready to see how this game is going to fare. Na'Vi looked incredible in game 1, so we'll see if this kind of secret strategy from them is enough to edge out the series victory.
Strategy against Secret, that's where you want to bust it out. I don't know, man. I'm similar to you. I'm just going... Typically, the potential last series that we cast of the day, I want it to be chill. I want it to be, you know, a nice little way to ease down into it, but of course, there's tiebreakers as well. I'm going to need to use my brain for this one because I have no idea what Vincere's going to be doing. I have no idea what Lazy's going to be doing specifically against this Conquer as well. That's the big issue for mine. Mirana into a Conquer. You're going to have a rough time. Like, you are going to die a lot if your positioning is not perfect. And they've got good setup for it as well. Earth Shaker, Primal Beast, Conquer, plenty of ways for a poor Mirana to die in this game.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we'll see. It's a very good Conquer pick and something that we were asking in another game for Nisha because of how good he looks on the hero. He's going to be able to hit 4 Crystals on the Shadow Fiend. A little bit of a kind of a different playstyle for Crystals as well in that regard. So we'll see how he's ever shape up. It should be a very good lane. And Undying with the Shadow Fiend, something that as long as they can have this strong laning support, they give Crystals the time to be able to find his farm. You see the good luck specifically to V-Tune as well. Resolution's asking if OG is back. Or maybe it's Na'Vi. Oh, there we go. Yeah, if he swaps around, he's like, correcting, no, actually, Na'Vi might be back.
Maybe. We'll see what happens this draft. If they can win with this draft, I think they're back. Because every cell in my body is saying, what the hell is going on here? But to make it work, then they're going to be a genuine contender.
Yeah, if they make this draft work, then this gives them a lot of wiggle room in drafts to come in the playoff bracket here for the last chance qualifiers and potentially later on as well. So if they can make this work, this is going to be incredibly scary. And well, I think a lot of other people are going to be watching how this IO even pays off as well, because this is something that we've seen that China at the moment are one of the few regions that are still putting a lot of priority on the IO.
Support IO. Support.
Yes.
That's not the Ana IO dude. He's already got it into quick buy, man.
The battle begins.
Gone into the scepter. Going to continue to be here. Some very good vision blocker. Uh-oh. Look at the Miranda. Oh, no Crystals. Couple of razors into the right clicks. What a vision from Zayats.
He took those tips personally in game number 1. He wants to make sure that, hey, if you're going to try and throw some of that my way, pop it going back the other, and he's already positioning himself up here alongside Chrysalis, preparing Resolution and Puppy going to be put down towards this bottom side. Of course, you want the Undying against any kind of strength hero, just to reduce the effectiveness of the IO in the lane. Just the overcharge is going to be quite nice, with Solo, of course, the Ogre dealing a huge amount of damage early on, forcing a very early use of the Uproar down here by Resolution.
Look at the damage they're pumping out into Resolution. We've got one set of tangos for the lane. I mean, Puppy's got 6 mango, so he's on spamming duties in this lane.
I mean, he's, kind of, well, I was about to say mashed up a little bit by Solo, but yeah, completely understandable. You don't need tangos if you've just got all that passive regen coming from the mango.
I think another nice thing is you just mentioned into the melee matchup. Sorry, I keep saying melee. The strength matchup in the IO, but he also avoids the Mirana matchup, which we see often is a very good way to deal with the Undying, even though it is kind of a position 3 instead of the position 4s that we tend to see.
I don't want to see Puppy trading too much with Solo, though, even though he might play like that kind of hero. Ogre is an int hero. I suppose it's good enough just to make sure that you're able to get a lot of these early last hits and allow Resolution to again be that true carry for this game. Of course, Shadow Fiend super capable of doing it, but it means that they've been able to get a fair few denies this wave, but now it's going to be pushing back towards the Secret. Job well done by Puppy from the very beginning. Not flaming, but questioning some of the laning mechanics that he had in game number 1, or rather the laning position, putting himself into. Not this time around, he's playing it very well.
Now, you were mentioning that leading into the qualifiers, we're kind of starting to see the Mirana played in a little bit of different roles. What has been kind of the position 3 build, and what are we to expect out of Lays in this game?
It's just something that's super capable of ragting. You know, you can go into the Maelstrom, you can go an ATOS style of build if you want to go full-on pickoff. And honestly, that's the way that Na'Vi want to be playing, right? They've got an IO drop, they've got that reload tech potential, they've got Sweden strong for the burst. So just want to be able to enable a lot of that as much as possible and avoid this team fight that Secret are going to be looking to push for.
That is definitely one of the big strengths that Secret have at the moment. The team fight, whereas you take a look at Na'Vi, they don't particularly have that. Like, this is going to be a lineup that really has to snowball this game, right?
Oh, for sure. Like, this is... that's why I was so confused and worried about Na'Vi's trouble, because it does feel like they're all in on this one specific type of strategy. You think of carries that scale into the late game. Ana's not one of them. Io isn't one of them anymore, with all of the nerfs to the carry Io that they did. So.
No one... Oh my lord, Nisha is just bodying mid. A beautiful solo kill. The use of the glyph as well, and well-deserved hit. Resolution recognizing how well Nisha is off to a good start here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's the money creep that went underneath the tower as well, so to make this lane look even worse for no one. Didn't have the freedom to walk all the way back to base. Just still, never mind going for the body block. Sure, the creep wave is just in a rough spot for no one regardless. Then they're going to look to try and make some more of these aggressive moves. Point of the spirits, of course, leveled up on the bottom side. It's solid, making a lot of damage.
Solar being able to blow him up, and meanwhile top lane as well as Sweden Strong just surviving with a quick TP out. They'd already used, so it looks like Zayats wasn't able to be able to cancel that, so very nicely done. But the Tiny's not going to be the lane. Doesn't look like it matters too much with the position of the creep wave from Lays, so we'll be okay solo at the moment.
He's getting a good amount out of this lane. I mean, against the Shadow King Earthquake, it's not the hardest lane by any means.
Oh, again. Just TP back, my friend. Okay. That's a lot of damage that's coming out between these two now.
Not a lot of regen that they've got for the lane as well. Of course, Io has the Helm of Iron Will, so we're looking to get that one together, but going to be able to build up any stacks in this time, or is it just securing this bounty route, making sure? I don't exactly want to take that one anyway. Maybe they just want to get to this early timing as quickly as possible and can't afford for no one on his Ember Spirit to go back into the jungle to claim it. Otherwise, Nisha, that advantage that he's already built up, can start to put some pressure onto the attack.
Yeah, it's going to be really scary with Nisha because he's already got the level 6. So with Ember Spirit, I mean, traditionally as a game matchup versus the Ember is really nice. So the Ember Spirit really good matchup as a Conquer. Apologies, you have a difficult time for the both being able to connect. As the game goes on, Conquer can look to itemize into a Hex to kind of deal with that, but we do see it's a little bit different in the lane so far. Lane solo, yeah, Resolution's going to be able to charge on full. He's got some stick charge with the help of Iro's Tether as well. Solo will actually live. Beautifully done.
Lives to live another day. Still provided with barely any regen, but every little bit counts. I mean, he's having a rough time on the bottom side. He needs to buy, of course.
Oh, no one's in trouble. He's already used the slide, so will not be able to dodge the boat. Sweden Strong's going to look to TP in. Backling up in a couple of seconds. No one, great repositioning away from the Tiny, so they won't get that extra damage. Just might continue actually onto the Tiny instead. He's just like, alright, if I can't get the Ember, I may as well get the freebie and Tiny slide.
Have to do, although he's brought under the tower
range, yeah. Look at the extra damage that's coming up, but Nishi with a torrent, heard it on the slide, no one. Gigantic kill for him to fight. I think Solar did soak up some of the experience, but no one just to turn it around with how poor this lane was looking. That is big for his early game now.
being able to get that turnaround there. Yeah, it costs a lot. You know, you do give that solo kill as well from Sweet and Strong over to Nisha on the Kunkka, but he's going to start the recovery, not necessarily in net worth, but absolutely in levels. Now he's level 6, now you're much less vulnerable to Kunkka soloing you down.
Look at that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Also the timing where a fight soon to break out. I'm looking at bottom. That's going on. What do we got? Resolution 2 points. Trample. Tuned very close to the helm of the Dominator. This is time for Secret to get aggressive. Got the Tombstone up already. Quick, who's going to win this fight? Same team.
No team fight. Never mind.
Resolution. Vicious. Spirits are going to expire, and so it's just going to be training down. Although, look at the rotation coming up from no one, but the level 6 picked up prior to Resolution. Going to move himself away with the onslaught, so they're going to go for Poppy instead. He's got a lot of health he can bring down. Decay up in a couple of seconds, which is going to help out with Poppy's life pool. So no one's forced to use another Remnant on forward, but with V-Tune being nearby. Now it's going to tickle the Ember. Now back to mid lane we go, as Zayat's in combination with Nisha. We'll be able to run into Sweet and Strong. There's a key component in Na'Vi in game 1, but is off to a bit more of a tricky start here on the Tiny.
Good positioning as well from Secret, making sure they're playing as much as they can on the Radiant side of the river. They knew someone would want to come and soak up a lot of that experience that was about to be pushed underneath the tower. Tiny, of course, one of the better ones, better positioned floors, to play with that XP. So it just means that they're able to cut off his avenue of securing that, they get a free kill, and they still deny a lot of this golden experience underneath the tower. So many different little benefits obtained from one simple movement and positioning of your heroes in the mid lane. Levels ahead.
Zayat with the invis room. Let's see if the stun controls could be enough for the triple raise. He's going to play with a couple of one charges, which is enough to keep him alive. It was a nice attempt, however, from Secret.
Right now it's just farming the helm of the Dominator creep as well. He might be in a little bit of trouble here, but he's going to have to back off. V-Tune quite able to do enough here, and Franklin's coming up shortly, so Solo has to be very careful with how he's looking to position himself. Whole ring more expensive, so you hit those timings much later.
No one's okay with a flame guard to protect him. We're trying to force some extra TP rotations. No one's falling pretty low. Well, bottom lane, however, Resolution is by himself. There's going to be no assistance coming out. They've already used the stop with the right clicks. Will do the work to chase it down. A big kill for them to find. Going down Resolution's game and giving V-Tune a little bit of extra gold towards that scepter that he's looking for as his next item.
It's a lot of those little items, like I was saying, Solo, just with a simple wind lace, meant that he was able to get that tiny bit of extra range away from So who's trying to get the solo kill, build up a lot of that experience for himself. Completed Tranquil Boost now. Having to be a bit careful here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to deal with Nisha.
Oh, the visual blocks Nisha on the high ground. Look at the wraparound coming from Na'Vi. A beautiful avalanche combo on the two. They've got the fall with the Centaur Conqueror. The bomb buff is making them work for the kill. Million still be able to bring down Nisha, but the turnaround might be there with the Tombstone. They're just completely avoiding this area. As Resolution's trying to catch up to the eye of a V-Tune, he wants a high five instead. As Sweet and Strong's going to send it packing, but Resolution gets closer to no one's position. A Remnant out to the left side. Resolution doesn't have a way to close the distance with the onslaught being on cooldown. And now he's the only one left standing for the members of Secret. The Tombstone still to work with, so he's going to charge on forward, the trample as well. Beats down Sweet and Strong. Nothing that you can do. This Primal Beast, 4 points in the trample, a ridiculous amount of damage.
While Crystal is free to just farm up top here, right? He's not really contested at all. A lot of space being created by 3 separate heroes. He's having a much better laning stage than last game, and let's have a think about what it's actually going to accomplish for the team with Crystallis. Of course, your position 1 having a good game, it's not rocket science, but it's going to open up a lot of these towers. It's going to allow you to give the Earthshaker a bit more farm, to be able to be greedy, to pick up that Blade Dagger, to be able to contend against this lineup with the Io that you know is going to start running at your face as soon as he's got the Aghanim. He's level 15. The other issue I have with the Io is, though, is hopefully no one dies while I'm talking, although Solo, he's getting timed underneath this tier 1 tower bottom. He's able to get the turnaround, but seems like they're just going to leave them for dead. Remember what happened in one of the more recent patches, right? They made levels much harder to come by, specifically after level 11. So I feel like that timing to level 15 is going to be a lot longer.
Smoke from either side. Secret saw Na'Vi smoking down, so they instantly used their own to look to try and intercept this. They'll turn towards the Tiny. The Ember Spirit, a much more difficult hero to be able to bring down, but nice use of the Glyph, however, is going to stop no one from being able to deal with the catapult wave. The tower.
Dire's middle
It's
tower
nearly dead
is under
anyways.
attack.
He remnant it away. I was about to say there's no way for him to rejoin, but he might look to prioritize mid instead. Just looking to cut the wave for now, it seems. No one in that mid lane.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Oh my god. What a damage.
Oh yeah. This is armor.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Solo's nearby. The Crystals be asked to be cautious. 90's level 3. Damage that you need her is fair.
Most of the time I'm the advocate of the single point bloodlust. This game, who's really using it? Io, not really. Ember Spirit, not really. He's a sleight of fist gamer. Do you need the extra attack speed on Mirana with Elite? Probably not. You're going into the Aghanim set. We haven't looked at live for quite some time. Wants to be able to deal a lot of that AoE damage, perhaps to be able to combat some of this team fight that they've got going from Team Secret.
Dire's top tower.
What do we need to see out of Na'Vi? Because they are down. It was 3,000. This has been claimed. It's now only 2,000. And we mentioned earlier that this is a lineup that needs to be playing from ahead. So what are we looking for shortly here for Na'Vi to try and get back and reclaim the lead?
I don't think they can do anything shortly. I think they're just trying to outgreed Team Secret right now. They've got Maelstrom about to be picked up on no one. They're going to try and defend their mid-tier 1.
Now look at the Tombstone to drop the middle of the fight as well. Secret are daring Na'Vi to take this skirmish, and this can now open up the tier 1 tower as well. It's going to be a lot of map control going Secret's way.
Radiant structures.
Crystal's nearby. So Na'Vi can do. A Glyph will delay them for the moment.
Radiant's middle tower.
Actually, charge of follow. What a combo! Zayat with the fissure, Resolution with the follow-up. They blow up the Ember Spirit. No one wasn't ready for it.
Wasn't ready at all, and again, it's not just what it provides to the cause, it's not just what it's going to give you in terms of kills. This opens up so much space now for Zayat to be able to farm. He can be placed into that dead lane. He can be placed anywhere on the map, essentially. He probably wants to use the Echo Slam while he can, looking to pair up with Nisha for the next little bit, but for sure, they're just giving him a huge avenue to become that real position 4 menace that we've seen him be so many times.
Just making it even easier for them on the other heroes. You mentioned the supports, but now Crystalist can just go back to the triangle freely. It's very difficult for Na'Vi. We're waiting for the Scepter now, really, for Vichun. He's got 2 components.
It wasn't just the Scepter that made it strong at TI9. It was the Scepter and level 15. And like I was saying before, the timings of being able to get to level 15 are ridiculously slower than what they used to be. So you don't get this unbeatable IO that you just can't contend with.
Na'Vi again just smoked on the water. I saw no pings come out from Secret, but probably some
Dire's
Nisha
top
now
tower
for
is
sure.
under attack. Dire are scanning.
Did he get revealed? Never mind.
Doesn't
He hasn't revealed people.
pretty close to a T1 tower. He can use the
Zayat.
defensively as well, but the arrow's going to be on the mark, preventing the rump up. Will not even come out fast enough as even Vichun tries to relocate down in case the fight breaks out. So yeah, Secret just maybe just not watching the map for that 1 second when Na'Vi looks to go for the smoke. That's a big pickup for them to find Nisha, who's having a very good game.
Yeah, that's how close these guys are. You just can't make a simple mistake like that because suddenly you've given the IO a little bit more time. He's doing level 12. Not that it's that huge for a carry IO, but 650 gold away from getting the Aghanim Scepter for himself.
Goes to Zayat's supply. Plus 210 gold is the bank. In fact, that is the Aghanim shot now completed here for the Earthshaker. It's going to be a lot of issues for them to deal with. Chain control into Resolution's follow-up.
Spoil that shot.
The torrent from afar as well.
Even if another attempt like that happens, right? You probably maybe live on Nisha just
lane.
because of the extra stuns.
We might see it now. He doesn't have it yet delivered on Zayat. Oh, if they had that, potentially would have been enough to get the kill.
is nearly over. The BKB after
He's in trouble. Science starts with a fissure, even drops the Echo Slam as well, feeling like he needed that extra little bit of damage and control to prevent the leap away. He was playing with 18-1 charges, so might have been able to live, but now with the kill from Secret, they've got the bottom lane shoved out, and Chrysalis is already in the neighborhood to be able to connect as well. So this tower, they don't have Glyph. This is going to be a tier 2 tower.
The other big issue that I keep mentioning, that IO not having that level 15 means that by the time he gets it, and by the time he truly is dishing out this unrealable with damage, you're going to have BKB on multiple heroes, so it's not going to be quite as big of a deal. You can actually look to fight into it. So you can see Chrysalis is about 1,000 gold away. Nisha's got his coming out on the courier. So this IO probably isn't going to be as strong as I'm sure Na'Vi were hoping.
Radiant are scanning.
Even just taking away a lot of the farm that the IO is wanting to be picking up, right? If you've got the Aghanim Scepter, constantly able to have it out, farming up a lot of these creep camps, Strong might be able to get a pick.
We'll see Zayats does have Nisha off to the right side. The Tune's having some difficulties getting the damage out, and now with the rotations coming out from Secret, they'll be able to connect fast enough to trade a 1-for-1. More numbers as well. They've got a really good ward on the high ground, but Nara is so goddamn tanky. This is not going to be an easy fight for them to take. They're going to try and jump into the middle. Look at all the AoE damage though. Conker goes down. Uppy's going to fall as well. There's Na'Vi. There's some much needed kills.
Felt a little bit odd, right? Like, you'd already lost the Earthshaker at the start of that entire engagement. You didn't have your Shadow Fin here as the most farmed hero on the map. They didn't even pop the BKB on Nisha. No, they didn't. It was just that chain control coming through with a great arrow, I believe, from Lies, right?
Yeah, I think it connected. I mean, there was a lot of chaos in that fight. I'm not sure who it hit on, but yeah, I believe so. Let's take a look. You guys see in the fire account. Yeah, he did get stunned, so. Look at how that was set up. So, I mean, just a perfect positioning out of Sweet and Strong. That gives him a little bit of time now to work towards the blink. He's very close to it.
Dire's top
Now
tower
able
is
to
under attack.
finish the Aghanim Scepter on Lies as well. Increased capability of being able to farm, be able to take a lot of these team fights, to perhaps force some earlier usages out of some spells out of the BKBs than they might be wanting. Real timing for me, the secret is going to be around this BKB on the Primal Beast, and there's absolutely nothing that's going to be able to stop Resolution from creating a lot of this chaos. Chrysalis is going for the Shadow Blade, and I like it, but I don't feel like the Blip Dagger would be an even better tool for them to be able to take a lot of these fights. Instantly get on top of them if you find the thing.
Oh, this is scary now, because Secret are daring Na'Vi to take another team fight, saying, sure, you had the advantage last time, or you're at least able to get the, finally, a victory in the skirmish, but good luck doing it now when we have firm control of the pit. Look at Zayat's positioning off to the left side. A Fissure holding the back. Swedish Strong gets some distance. He can blink away as well. So no one's at least going to go down, but Secret do get the Aegis for free, and that's going to be given over to Chrysalis.
Tower, again, it's these little things, right? They know that they're playing from behind right now. They know that their draft's a little bit unorthodox. And again, they know that they're waiting for level 15 on Io. He's got it. They gave over the 20-minute tome. Honestly, pretty damn quick. I mean, Io, back in the last game of TI9, I feel, got it the exact same period. So Futune's having a phenomenal game.
Very impressed. Same level as the Shadow Fiend, who is one the top losses as well. So he's been freely farming across the map. So the fact that he is in the position that he is obviously unfortunate. Solo's not in the greatest position. I do see the rest of the team vulnerable at the moment. Swedish Strong might be able to jump in. They need to follow up. Someone else to be able to have some stun control. Puppy's going to run into both the heroes, and Chrysalis will not mess around. An instant use of the BKB into the Requiem is going to send Na'Vi packing. They want to take the fight up, but no, the BKB was used. This could be an opening for Na'Vi.
They see him entirely.
Into the arrow, the damage is going to come through. Swedish Strong tossing him up, but no, they don't finish that food. Finally, this moves from afar is enough to get the kill, but Resolution's going to charge into the middle. The Echo Slam fall up as well, along with the tome. Vincere can't get the tether away. But the arrow for good measure, however, lies provide the damage to be able to kill off Zayat, and now we still have 4 members to try and take the skirmish. The chains disrupting the onslaught, so Resolution will not be able to reposition, but Chris Slides, he wants a way to be able to re-enter the fight. Off to Sweden strong they go. For the next combination, it's enough to find the kill, but again, the chains and arrow from afar, they don't have the extra damage from the iron required to stick around, so now they need to get out and cut their losses.
It's a long-ass team fight, man. It felt like it just kept going and going and going, and the team that wins out in the end is going to be Secret. You aren't quite capable of withstanding a lot of this damage that's coming through, and if you don't find that pick-off, like as a clear win, a 1-0, then you're always going to be on the back foot when you're coming up against all of this team fight that Team Secret has. Said it before, you've got to make Solo look like he's beating, and it kind of looks that way this game. 1-8-4, not close to the 3-2 and 22 that he had last time around, and it does feel like he's so much more comfortable on those spellcaster types, doesn't it?
Yeah. Very much so does. Like we saw the potential for success in some of the fights though for Na'Vi. It seems like they really need to play their distance, where if you can... Because at the moment for Secret, their stun lock is great, but once they're used, they don't have much after. Like Fisher's got a little bit of a cooldown, the torrent as well, the onslaught as well. If you don't have them, then and if you miss out on that initial start, Na'Vi can reposition, play with the chain spam, play with the arrow spam, and kind of the damage from Iron from afar. They might be able to get a kill and then have the numbers advantage where you can set up for like another kind of small skirmish. So I think we have to see that out in Na'Vi.
Future's really starting to build up a lot of this damage component though, and I really feel like they're about to group up for a big smoke, but they actually preempt that on Secret. They look to try and pick a hero off before they can make any kind of play.
Still,
he's got the BKB, he picked it up just then. Yeah, that was the timing that they were waiting for, and to be forced to use a BKB defensively is a really big loss. Like now they can look to very comfortably take this when they only use the boat. It's up in another 55 seconds and you've got plenty else that's going to enable you to start sieging these tier 2 towers and potentially going up onto the high ground.
Sure, the Shadow Blade is about to expire. The BKB, they're going to look to jump in. Let's see if the damage can be enough to take control. It will be nicely done from Na'Vi. Pop is the only one to rotate. And they're going to get out now, Secret. They're starting to...
Here we go. This is probably the biggest window that Na'Vi have had all game. They want to keep the push forward. They want to open up the map a little bit more for themselves to be able to make these pickups, because it means that the smokes, the avenues, and the pathing that you're able to make is just so much faster. And at this level of Dota, it comes down to a matter of seconds. So if you're able to just find that hero with a couple of seconds faster, it means that they won't have recognized it.
The Kid Magic Resistance should be able to help out. We've still got some members nearby, but Secret is starting to move on over. As can play around with the Eul Scepter to try and disrupt the combination out of the Conquer, so he's going to be okay. Meanwhile, the triangle, though, they're onto the IO. Zion's in Resolution, but Vichu gets the BKB off in the nick of time. And that Resolution is stuck in no man's land. Na'Vi are moving on over. They will not have a way to disrupt the BKB TP out. Again, this is another window now for Na'Vi, recognizing that Rezo's BKB is on cooldown.
Yeah, for sure. You did again have to pop it on the IO though, so you're not going to be feeling incredible about Vichu just having that one available, but so he's just going into the refresher. He wants to be this constant source of panic and chaos, especially now that Crystal is getting into towards the Skadi, something that you really want to be able to deal with that IO.
The Bay is in, they go. Sweden strong, holding up with no remorse, and now Ice again. They're your Scepter. Gonna allow him to get out of the X. Nisha's hunting for Solo though. Oh, again, Zombie Man. They might be able to go back to the Conquer, but again, the Glimmercade. No one's gonna try and play around with the BKB, but the right clicks are starting to stack up. No one right click on the Moonlight Shadow. Oh, it just expired. Crystal was able to fire him. The Remnant wasn't far enough away.
big kill. He is essentially playing the role that Resolution is for Secret. And no one to be going down. There's really nothing frontlining for them. You know, we've seen if Vichu is able to get on, if they're able to get on top of Vichu, he can still go down, but he's starting to build up a good amount of damage for himself too. Level 18, Crystallis finished up, and Daedalus is next on the menu.
Interesting. A right-clicking battle between the Iru and the Shadow Fiend.
Oh, and he just got a paladin sword.
Oh, alright, that's going to help out a little bit. Again, like you mentioned, Scotty's going to be a very nice item for Crystallis this game, which he has not completed. I have to imagine Shadow Fiend's going to win out on his trade.
If he can, did he buy the charges then? Like he had it queued up previously, so it looks like he just wants to try and out-sustain him rather than try and fear him away and stop a lot of the tether bonuses from coming through. Like start fearing him when the overcharge is more of a factor. So get it free from Roshan. That's going to go a long way towards helping, and only a minute and 15 seconds away. They're looking to make another attempt though. Nice and aggressive.
No messing around with the use of the BKB. He's going to jump in the middle and try and take Science out of the equation. Off to the left side, though, Resolution with the pulverize will get Navi's position for as well. But no one is by himself. They're trying to time the torrent perfectly, but the remnant down, no one's still in trouble as Resolution lines up the onslaught, has the control required.
It's just so much team fight.
And it's so difficult, like you said, to play these 5-on-5s, but Navi, we're going to try and find an avenue in. Off the mark, unfortunately, with the arrows. Looks like Secret are going to be okay, and their only casualty was the Earthshaker.
Yeah, they're picking out Roche, praying for it to be up. They need this win to really secure themselves that better spot. There's an upper bracket seed, and it's still going to be another 20 seconds away.
It's ready. Nisha, beautiful torrent. The chain control is ever so perfect. Great observable placement from Secret.
Yeah, of course, he needs the damage to be able to, A, get the farm, to be able to truly feel like a carry, but without that BKB available with this Primal Beast, especially the Primal Beast that was going into the Blink Dagger, but went back into the Refresher, that plus the Kunkka just means that dead Mirana almost every single time.
And Nisha, look just into the high gun, pop a BKB. He's not going to wait to see who's home for Na'Vi. The tombstone drop from Poppy on the side, slowing down Sweet and Strong. Long chase here from Secret under the T2 tower. They're going to allow the Tiny to escape, and they won't continue to play aggressively.
They should just be checking Roshan pretty consistently. Or maybe just not wanting to let them go onto any kind of high ground.
The Echo set for the chain control again! No one goes down with Crystallis in prime position to capitalize on the control. The damage is stacking up. Gonna go for the dive. They've been separated. The nice arrow rises on point. Flipping on Tanisha. Now Resolution. His BKB is going to expire as well. They're kiting the Primal Beast. They can look to move on forward though. Rice needs to be on point.
Oh, they can get the gem off Poppy.
To use it to set up, but instead they're going to go to Poppy. The much easier target from Secret. The arrow does.
They might get both.
Try to pin as well. They've got the BKB. Chris is going to look to pop it and stand his ground. Targeting down Sweet and Strong to over the top though. It sends Resolution into the middle. Not where he wants to be with the Primal Beast with the help of the Requiem. Look at the damage fall from afar. They will still end up going down. The Requiem covers the retreat from the Shadow Fiend. Science will not be able to TP out though. As Na'Vi, multiple buybacks forced out. One from Sweet and Strong, one from no one as well. That successful team fight will enable them now to take Roshan.
Two incredible arrows coming through from Lies there, connecting on and allowing that buyback to come through from no one on the Ember Spirit. You realize how worthwhile it was to be able to get back into this team fight because of when it was happening throughout the game. And Lies there, just seeing the level 1 death there, but he's certainly come back ever since then. And with Roshan about to go down, it's going to give him, actually they give the Aegis over to Vichu. Okay, I was thinking maybe they might give it over to no one since he doesn't have that buyback available. Might be a bit of a misplay because he had freed up the spot for it.
Yeah, I wonder if no one has to itemize defensively now, or like someone else next up. He's going Shivas, which I suppose is somewhat defensive and aggressive. Yeah, the armor is going to be very, very nice versus the Shadow Fiend. That was It's a long game fight. This replay's gonna go for a while.
That's alright, we got a pause, we got time. But there we go, the arrow coming through, enabling the buyback. Look at that, just landing onto such a key hero in the middle of these engagements. They take out Nietzsche without the boat being popped. I'm not sure if he used the BKB either. And then your formation just crumbles on Secret. You're based around the team fight puppy at this time. Still at about 15 seconds left on the tombstone. Being able to kill him, and then you get the gem as well. Such a huge net worth swing going back in Navi's favor.
Sweden Strong, nice attempt with the blink. Sure we'll be able to sidestep the arrow as well. Sweden Strong was one of the members that did buy back, so he's going to be straight for 80 seconds. But it does look like the lanes are in a pretty good position. Navi might not lose much. Maybe a T2 tower, actually.
Better to die now than, you know, later on when they're potentially looking to siege onto the high ground, right?
Yes. Time for the Mirana BKB to be completed as well.
Who spoiled that shot?
Who's trying to get the items, but it definitely, even though Secret didn't find the second
Radiant's
Roshan.
middle tower is under attack.
One's with the lead, 10,000 net worth. Prime position to be able to even out this series of 1-1 apiece.
Radiant's middle
The
tower
core stuff is really important on solo, but it's, okay, there we go. I much prefer this Aghanim Shard now that you're really just looking to hit like a truck on Chrysalis. He's already got, when you know it, the Chrysalis in his inventory, and he's going into the Daedalus next. So it's really just all about being able to stop that initial burst damage to, you're the team that should have the pickoff. Secret shouldn't be able to get pickoffs
As well, so probably lose one of their tier 2 neutral items.
really good when combined together with an Earthshaker who's holding onto an enchanted quiver, which I guess they really want that single socket pickoff.
Work on Smoke, Secret have the high ground. In a position where they
gave
can
it up.
Chrysalis. Be cautious, the rest of the team a little bit away. He's gonna instantly use the BKB, but no one's in trouble! They got the stun into the chain control. Can they blow him up? No one pulled back. They're unable to do it. He gets the BKB off out to the left side to run them back and forth. The Shadow Fiend, though, he's the one that's in trouble. Chrysalis is trying to stand his ground. The lifesteal isn't going to be enough to be able to turn around. The Shadow Fiend goes down. Navi, how can they set themselves up, though? The Aegis respawn from V2. They're going to play defensively. The resources back up and maybe look to push to the opposite side of the map as Navi. All they lose is Sweden Strong and the Aegis. What a team fight from them.
He's just able to survive there on no one, and he created so much havoc, even just getting that cleanup kill onto the Earthshaker. It was his remnant, just that little bit of tick damage coming through from the Aghanim Shard that ended up getting him the kill and the Cloak of Flames. He's full role-playing right now, just flames on flames on flames.
She's going to be pretty cautious. He has to be really quick with his X.
Solo.
Jesus, my lord.
Dire's middle
But he's got the flame guard as well, sorry, the fire shield. So, how much fire do you think it can be?
fire. The prize is mine.
The Radiance on for no one?
It's more of a burn. I get what you mean, fire.
Oh my god. That was from fire burn, right?
I don't know where you're from, the north side of the city.
Resolution? Hope a stray arrow doesn't go into the tree line, my friend. They're coming, actually, Secret. Resolution's going to be setting up. He's going to jump onto
Quick fingers.
At BKB, he's got the silence as well, thanks to the neutral line. It's a Resolution. Has to use it to charge away. Nisha will be able to clear down Solo. Sweden Strong to jump into the middle. They're very tanky from Secret. They're splitting up their damage at the moment. Not the worst from Navi though. A lot was forced out. Multiple BKBs, the boat as well. As soon as Solo respawns, might consider about making something happen.
So Solo just got one shot there by Nisha. You'll have to see. And maybe he's going to switch to something a little bit more defensive. What kind of items can he look to hold on to? Ring of Aquila maybe? I don't know. The Eye of Vizier is pretty damn value just to be able to stay far enough away, but I just need to be an item. Do you go down the route of a Solar Crest even? Just look to give that over to V2?
Lads would be kind of nice, honestly.
Yeah.
A little bit of armor. I'm trying to think of like an armor item. I was gonna say just go for a casual ring of protection.
Would help.
Lads will, yeah, a little bit. Because like you said, you want this Eye of the Vizier. I mean, you can get a lot of armor from some of the neutral items, but just go into the Vlads instead because there'll be a lot of benefit out of it to help with the Eye off him.
They know they're over to the right-hand side. I believe no one was under that smoke, and he popped as he was mid-slide of fist, so...
Just saw Nisha as well moving to the bottom jungle with that ward. Aware of Secret's position, but they don't have much vision set up right now from Na'Vi. That's just gonna relocate. What's he looking for at the moment? Looking to maybe cut pop?
Composure coming through from Secret as well. Nisha had 5 seconds left on the BKB, and he's been dangerously close.
With a truck gets a job, this is a lot of the control for Secret through the fight. Again, the corner can't use defensively. Someone's gonna look to enter the fight. But be cautious though, Na'Vi. As soon as the tombstones lay it down, they don't have control of the area. Lucian, early use of the BKB again. Oh, nice reactions from no one up to the northern side, but he too has to use the BKB incredibly defensively. And Na'Vi now, they need to get out.
And they've given up this little choke point that they want to be playing around.
That's going to use. Oh, that's a big one for no one. Spellplace coming out of the Courier, I believe. She was almost completed as well for the Emperor.
Yeah, it's going to be a good bonus for him, especially considering you're going up against the Mask of Madness, you're going up against, actually, yeah, the Satanic, not quite yet finished up yet for Chrysalis, but certainly very value, even just with the Holy Locket on the Undying for Puppey. It's very clear that they just want to enable Chrysalis as much as possible. So much damage, man. Poor Solo. He's just getting one shot left, right, and center. Daedalus on Conquer, Daedalus on Shadow Feed, Earthshaker. He was holding on to the, what do you call it, Enchanted Quiver, just to be able to potentially one-shot it with the Enchant Totem.
Buyback status. They rating with buybacks the Tiny and the Ogre for this team fight. Trying to set up for the Power Rune. Easily in this. Swedish Strong's actually going to look to jump in. Starting onto Puppey's not the greatest target. He's able to lay down the tombstone.
The arrowed Puppey.
Turn it back around though. The arrow does connect. No one gonna try and poke from in fact, Remnants into the middle as well.
Back to
does buy back. Ooh. Look at that, man. A third of feature intelligence going from one crit, but
yeah.
Roche is not up, so they're not going to get too much out of the buyback here from Sweden Strong.
They're going to try to. They're going to go for this invis, even popping a smoke just on Sweden Strong. He is once again fulfilling the role that they have him for. He wants to be that one leading the charge. Able to pop that smoke and find the key pick off, especially when those BKBs are on cooldown. That's going to be huge.
Aggressively. The High Ground is going to be cautious with the chain control. Is it going to be enough to blow him up? That's the case. No one's gone. That's his dieback. 2 minutes without the Ember Spirit. Now Na'Vi have got to get out.
They do, and Secret.
Resolution.
They got to get pushing. Once more. Wants to try and pick off Sweden Strong. A second dieback would be so huge for him. Uses the flicker just to try and close in that range. He's got the
outpost. Puppey's keeping behind them. See if they're going to be able to blow up the Undying before Secret.
See ya, Puppey.
V-Truth's damage, couple of crits and an easy kill. And Anisha's going to even look deep into the outpost as well. They're going to be cautious without fighting with no one. Separated thanks to the fissure, but Anisha's clean. Oh my lord, bye-bye, Ogre. The rest of Na'Vi once again sent packing. They will not have stuns to be able to cancel the TP, so at least some members of Na'Vi will escape.
2,400 damage on that cleave from the Kunkka and his Tidebringer. It's just way too much. There's nothing that you can do on this poor Ogre Magi. He needs to be in the middle of these fights just to use the Fire Shield so that his cause can live, but he's giving up his life so many times. And Secret, they're going to be able to claim this third Roshan. You would assume a nice little refresher shard on for them as well. You would assume that maybe the Earthshaker is going to be the one to pick that one up.
They're coming. If Swedish Strong's perfect with the timing. Get some information. Arrow as well. Roche is low. Tiny backed a little bit too far away from distance to be able to blink in. So Chrysalis with the Aegis. Refresher shot in the backpack of the Shattered Thing for the moment, and Resolution is holding the cheese as well.
I mean, it would have meant too much for the dieback to come at that stage because it's a calculated risk, right? And I think without the Ember Spirit, you just can't go for that team fight. You might pick it up, but then you're just dead again, and then Secret can look to go up into your high ground with a guaranteed 5v4 situation.
Very young, first level 25 of the game. He's going to go for the Shadow Fiend.
Careful with where you're standing, Solo, as well. Just in the base with Misha just going to come forward, blink in, use the Tiebringer, and he's nearly level 25 as well, so it's going to get even harder.
They're starting to move top. Right, but Fishik actually clips onto both. It's only the Ogre that they're going to see for the moment. Vice will be able to TP out. This has given Na'Vi an opportunity to shove out mid and bottom. No one's going to try and move over the secret shot, but they have the ward on the high ground. It's going to be cautious.
Ooh, nice try.
Very close to landing the Echo Slam.
Those quick fingers, man. That is sweaty palms moment for sure if you're no one, thinking that you were this close to losing this game. Already 20k net worth down and fell into the grave again. No buybacks still available for about 550 gold, so he's going to stick himself onto the bottom side. I'm sure the call is going to be just hole yourself up in the base. Don't give up your life for free, but they might.
Really strong. Yours picked up. He's looking to itemize down that route. Without at the moment, no way to be able to chop the X combination. He's gone 80 seconds in the buyback. Not available for him, so Na'Vi going to have to hold 45.
Yeah, no one's not even there yet. He's remnant back once he's got the buyback available, but just short of level 25. He wants to get it off the creep wave. There we go. Second slide of fist charge. It's all about the chaos. Keep the lane shoved out as much as possible.
Treasure's actually going to jump into the IO. If the flash is going to be nothing, Nietzsche alive, but look at the backline though. They're falling lower and lower. Refresher used from Resolution, so the second use of the Pulverize is enough to get rid of the IO, but Crystallis is not dead just yet. Finally, Elias has got the damage to go through the first life, but it's cost Na'Vi so much. It's Rezo. Back in he goes into the buyback out of Beatrice. It's a big victory. Na'Vi, they need more kills, and that's when no one can come into play. A remnant into the middle. The Chainter trying to chop the combination, but the Requiem still comes out. The Pulverize is going to go in. No one is going to rejoin once again. He's got the remnant to play with off the back of the buyback, so we'll be able to finally deal with the Shadow, but it was such a costly defense from them.
It was for sure, but look at who doesn't have buyback. It's the Kunkka, it's the Shadow Fiends, and even this bounty rune. So maybe if they get all of them, they're out on the map. There's 3 at the moment. Zayats, if he's able to invade into the enemy jungle, look to pick that one up. Maybe it's going to be able to allow them to defend against this. Positive side is that it's not a lineup that pushes incredibly quickly. Sure, you've got the Bloodlust, sure, you've got a lot of strong spells to be able to with the Daedalus, but you don't crit towers. So that's one of the big issues that Na'Vi are going to have. Can they stall this one out long enough? The double bounty pickup, still a little bit short though. On into the buyback gold. All about protecting these siege creeps, it feels.
It's a big item as well, just completed for the Mirana. He's got the Wind Waker now to be working with.
It shows there even the pro players sometimes forget about these little changes. Rezo, that entire fight was holding on to the Refresher Shard, forgetting that it doesn't, the cooldown doesn't go paired together with the Refresher Orb. And well, maybe that would have made a different bit of the team fight. Maybe if you had that second Echo Slam, things could have been a bit different because no one just popped off in the middle of that engagement.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Give it over to the Earthshaker now. Zayats can get out of this. Because again, it's a big condition now for Secret. A lot of buybacks were forced out from Na'Vi prior. No one has a buyback on Radiant. Sweden Strong's going to come up in a little bit. It just needs a little bit of gold as well. A little bit 600 is a lot at this stage when you're all grouped up like this.
It's a tense moment for sure. Who's going to make the misstep? They've even got the Wind Waker now, which is a really useful tool. Even that BKB with the ultimate on the Primal Beast, it's interruptible. You could just dual scepter whoever gets caught out, and of course you've got great ways to be able to get right on in there. All 3 leap charges plus the blink dagger, so Lies is going to be such a big part of these next team fights for Na'Vi if they're going to stand any chance of withstanding the Death.
Can you Wind Waker a BKB target?
Oh, good question. But you're not going to be getting slammed, right? Oh no, Pulverize piercing magic. Never mind. Red Spit's level 26. Didn't even realize.
Yeah, that's a really, really big talent for Secret. That's another big item as well. Featuring now with the Lincolns. I'm not quite sure. Okay, he's going for the attack. Tended allies target.
He's under attack.
Butterfly even queued up next as well for the IO. See, I'm honestly quite surprised with how much damage he's been doing scaling into this game. I wasn't quite sure how the IO would be able to shape up at the later stages, but we do see he's pumping out some damage.
Here's the short speed. He's going to catch out Puppet here.
No one else is here to follow up. You can shoot Puppet to the high ground, but they get the stomach to no one as well. Lay almost clipping with the fissure. Rise with the BKB TP. He'll escape, however. So Na'Vi might be able to all get away.
Somehow they get away. Rezo just not going for the Pulverize onto the Mirana that was positioned next to him. Not sure if he had vision or not. We have that advantage of seeing both teams' perspectives, but so tense, really can go either way, and that IO is in there for saves, and well, he actually did go ahead and buy the Refresher Orb onto no one. Okay, looks like he's too set. These are the items that he's going to have essentially for the remainder of the game. He's just looking to try and build onto them. So Sleipnir coming next just so that he's not giving that one up. Again, you can't backpack the Refresher Orb anymore. It loses all of its value.
Launching away to the tree line, but Niche is there. A torrent initially about to die out as well. It's going to try and move into the chain control, but finally be able to kill off no one.
And they've finally got this period where there's no buybacks available on anyone except the Crystallis. And he's still a little bit cautious, he's a little bit anxious, but I really don't feel like he could be burst down now. He's even got the Satanic that I wouldn't grudge him from just wanting to pop it onto a creep wave, get all the way back up to full and go the safe route. Look to push in all of these lanes. No point in trying to end it right now. Well, potentially there is, but very easily just go slow and okay, they didn't reposition. Jesus Christ. Yeah, these guys, they're just having fun. They're in the C region, right? This is the whole CGG. Game is not up until that turn explodes.
The classic fake GG. Okay, I see.
There we go. Horn sounds. More of the mega creeps, and he's going to realize that he was actually telling the truth for once. A Dota player being honest.
Radiant's middle tower.
Never imagined it.
Radiant's middle tower.
They don't have an Ember Spirit, they don't have an IO.
Radiant structure.
Don't have a way to defend outside of this glyph, but way too many creeps. Siege creep still surviving. Breaking into that tier 4 tower. They're going to go for one last defense, but seems a little bit futile.
Sandaro, they're going to try and go for the Earthshaker. Oh, Zayat just gets the BKB off though, but nice reactions away from the fissure. The throne's exposed and IO is exposed as well. There we go. Maturin said throne, and well, after the death, he'll drop the G's as well, as in the end, Na'Vi and Secret will go 1-1 apiece.
Able to claim it. I mean, a 1-1. It's pretty fitting for how these guys were playing in the early game so far, and